Stadium in Irving, just outside downtown Dallas. Filled to the rafters again today as the Dallas Cowboys, America's team once again, take on the Los Angeles Rams. After some dismal years, the fun has returned to North Texas. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Dan Fouts. Just 3 years ago, the Dallas Cowboys finished the season 1-15. They come in today, Dan, with the best record in the NFL, 8-1. What, in your mind, has been the reason for the turnaround?
Well, I think we look at number 22, Emmitt Smith, as the best back in the NFL, according to a lot of coaches, including Ram coach Chuck Knox. This man here has been the big difference in becoming an outstanding running back and improving that entire offense. Going against the worst defensive team against the rush in the NFL, the LA Rams, big challenge for the Ram defense.
Los Angeles Rams are getting up 145 yards per game on the ground. They come in under Chuck Knox with a 3-6 record. Now, they have been competitive in almost every game this year, but they've got some big concerns today.
Well, one of the concerns is the head of Cleveland, Gary, fumbled 3 times last week against Phoenix. Will he put it on the carpet today? But the big players have to come through for the Rams. That means Jim Everett at quarterback and the 2 wide receivers, Aaron Cox for Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard. They all have to have big days.
Los Angeles Rams have won the toss, and they will receive to open the game. Today, by the way, is a cheerleader reunion at Texas Stadium. Along one of the signature elements of the Dallas Cowboys going back to the days of the mid-'70s. Lynn Elliott will kick off for Dallas. They come in 8-1. And the Los Angeles Rams 3-6, but they have lost most recently by the narrowest of margins. Last week, Los Angeles losing at home to Phoenix by 6. They lost on the road prior to that to Atlanta by 2. They last won against the New York Giants. Vernon Turner is one of the deep back. The other is David Lang. David Lang will grab this at the 8-yard line. Gets by Clayton Holmes, but then the tackle is made by Darren Woodson, who has become a big star on the special teams for the Cowboys. Jim Everett leads the Los Angeles Rams now in his 7th season. And up front, he'll have Perry and Newberry along with Bostic, Malinchik, Jackie Slater, and Pat Carter. Cleveland Gary, David Lang, the wide receivers Aaron Cox for Flipper Anderson, and Henry Ellard. Cleveland Gary all the way out to the 25. A nice run over left tackle on first down. Russell Maryland makes the stop. Jimmy Johnson said yesterday Tony Casillas is really the heart and soul of this defensive line. And he is joined by Tolbert, Maryland, and Jim Jeffcoat, who starts for an injured Charles Haley. We might see Haley on 3rd downs today. Smith, Jones, and Norman are the linebackers. And in the secondary, it's Holton Brown, James Washington, and fresh from 2 interceptions last week, Thomas Everett. 2nd down and 4. Cleveland Gary tests the middle, and he comes up short. It'll be 3rd down. And almost immediately we see the Cowboy defense where it shines its best, and that is on 3rd down. They are extraordinary on their 3rd down defense.
Well, the numbers they're putting up on 3rd down are precedent-setting numbers. This 22%, if it holds up for the entire year, would be an all-time NFL record. But in the last 5 games, they've only allowed 1 first down in 25 tries on 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 3 right now. And for the season, teams are 50% on 3rd and 3 against Dallas. Gary. That's the first down at the 30-yard line.
This is a real good start for LA. 3 carries in a row for Cleveland Gary, and it's a good call by Ernie Zampese. Cowboys were expecting a pass play. You see there are no linebackers in the middle. Norton comes up late to make the tackle, but a good play selection by offensive coordinator Ernie Zampese going with the draw there on 3rd and 4.
First down and 10 at the 31-yard line. Opening drive of the ball game. The Rams had scored only 1 touchdown in the first quarter this year. Play action on first down. Everett deep left side. Aaron Cox with a crossing pattern. That's a gain of 15 and a first down at the 45-yard line. Isaac Holt with the catch, or with the tackle.
And Aaron Cox seeing some action for the injured Flipper Anderson. Cox told us last night that he's finally healthy, and that's been the biggest difference in his career. He's been bothered by hamstring problems throughout, and now he is healthy and playing well. Ernie Zampese refers to him as the smartest receiver on our team. He knows the offense as well as quarterback Jim Everett.
First and 10. Jim Price is in as an extra tight end. Pat Carter lines up tight to the right. That's Price in motion. They hand it off deep to Gary. He comes right and shovels it out to the 49-yard line. They are moving the ball quite well early on.
When you can pick up first down, or on first down, about 5 yards with the carry, this one will go over right tackle Jackie Slater. Now, this sets up your offense in real good position. You see the Rams converted on the first 3rd down possession, so they're doing things that a lot of teams haven't been able to do against Dallas. But when you look at the fact that they've only scored 1 touchdown the entire year in the first quarter, that's an offense that has been struggling.
Second down and 4. Ball at the 49. They'll hand it off, and Gary darts to the outside. He goes by Vincent Smith, breaks a tackle, breaks another. The longest gain against Dallas coming into the ball game had been 17 yards. That is the longest running play against the Dallas Cowboys in 1992.
And you know, this man, Cleveland Gary, wants to prove a couple of things today. Number one, he doesn't want to fumble the ball. He's going to work against Vincent Smith here. Watch the block on the linebacker. Nice job by Perry. But Smith just whiffs in the backfield, or would have been a couple of yard loss. But Gary played for Jimmy Johnson at the University of Miami. He wants to show the old coach he's still got it.
Larry Brown also missed a tackle. A gain of 21. First down at the 30. On the sweep. Gary down at the 28. Gary and Dan said at the outset he had those fumble problems last week. Had the much publicized fumbling problems in 1990. Last year didn't play that much. He's only fumbled 5 times this year, and I say only because he had 3 of those last week.
Well, and last week the Rams were absolutely pitiful in the first half running the ball. Gary only had 7 yards rushing, so he came out in the second half determined to make something happen. Well, the things that happened were bad for him. He dropped it 3 times.
Second and 7. No score. Rams driving. Blitz. Everett throws it away. He simply had to let it go deep left side, and it'll be 3rd down.
The important thing here now for Everett is he knows that he is within Zendejas' range for a field goal, and if you suffer a sack in that case right there, you might push Zendejas beyond. Good job of getting rid of it under pressure.
It'll be 3rd down and 7. En route to posting this 22% yield on 3rd downs, the average need on every 3rd down play for the season has been 3rd and 7.7. So this is right at the mark. Left side, man open, Flipper Anderson. They have converted 2 first downs in this drive. That's a gain of 14.
The key to this play is good pass protection. The Cowboys are going to play a zone, but there's just no pressure on Everett. And when he has the time to throw, and it's an out route, there's no quarterback that throws it any better. He's a tall guy, 6'5", sees the field well, and if you keep people 2 or 3 yards away from him, he'll kill you.
After that 14-yard pickup, first down at the 13. 10th play of the drive. They toss it to Gary. He comes right. Cuts upfield and is knocked down at the 10. Fumble, but the ball rolled down by contact.
Well, you know one thing is the Cowboys will be digging and pulling on his arm, scratching, trying to break his fingers, trying to pry that ball loose. Another thing they'll try to do all day is remind him, hey, you dropped it 3 times against the Cardinals last week. How about giving us a couple? But Chuck Knox told us last night he wants to give Gary positive reinforcement all week long and not dwell on the fumbling part. Talk about how to prevent it, keeping your hand over the point of the ball, tucking it in when you feel contact.
2nd down and 7. Russell Maryland, you see him, number 67, was Gary's teammate, said he wasn't a fumbler at Miami. Here's Everett back, looking left, into the flat. It is caught by Cleveland Gary.
And he got the first down all the way to the 1-yard line as he just outran Vincent Smith, number 57, to the corner. Everett with a quick read to his wide receiver, then to his outlet receiver, Gary, and the speed and strength to shake off that tackle and take it to the 1.
The Los Angeles Rams, losers 4 of the last 5 weeks, are on the verge of scoring only their 2nd touchdown of the season in the 1st quarter. Gary, no TD. He's going to be stopped about 2 feet short.
And that's not the touchdown signal by Everett. That shows Coach Knox and Coach Zampese upstairs just exactly how much the Rams need for a score. Number 75 is Tony Casillas, and he's going to get the good penetration against Brostek, push the big center back, and give Gary absolutely no way to get into the end zone.
2nd and goal from the 1. Gary, touchdown Los Angeles. What an impressive drive to open this ball game for the Los Angeles Rams.
Very determined drive by the entire offense and a very determined run that time by Cleveland Gary. You really have to give him a lot of credit for that drive. Handled the ball on almost every play. We're concerned about his head coming into this game. I think his head is fine, and the rest of him is doing pretty good too.
Hands seem okay. Tony Zendejas out of Mike Bagel's hole. And the Los Angeles Rams drive 81 yards to open the ball game. They chew up 7 minutes and 10 seconds and take a 7-0 lead.
The key block on this is going to be Joe Malinchik, number 71. He's going to kick out here and give Gary a little seam. Nice job of getting around all that traffic and taking the legs of the linebacker away. And Gary's in for a rare touchdown for the Rams.
That was a 13-play drive, and Cleveland Gary touched the ball on 10 of the 13. 9 runs and a catch. And the LA Rams take a 7-0 lead over a suddenly very quiet Texas Stadium crowd.
That drive for the Rams was vintage Chuck Knox. A couple of passes were mixed in there, but it really had the trademark of a Chuck Knox hard-nosed type of football team, and Cleveland Gary's got to be feeling awfully good about himself. And what he does with that type of performance is he eases the minds of all his teammates. Hey, we can give him the ball all the time now. He's not going to fumble the ball.
And that was a drive against the #1 defensive team in the National Football League. Earlier in the season, the Dallas Cowboys gave up 68 yards total offense to Seattle. That's for the game. They just gave up 81 in the first drive here this afternoon. Here's Zendejas, Kelvin Martin, and Clayton Holmes are the deep backs. This will be Martin at the 4. Fumble the ball. So an inauspicious beginning for the Cowboys special teams. And Troy Aikman will come out to take a snap from center for the first time this afternoon with 7:41 remaining in the first quarter. Aikman having a very consistent season. And up front, Tuanay and Newton, Stepnoski, John Giesick, Eric Williams, and Jay Novacek. In the backfield, Emmett Smith, Darrell Johnston, and the wideouts are Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper. First and 10 from the 23. Play action by Aikman on first down. Behind Michael Irvin, who catches it. No, drops it. Incomplete pass. Kevin Green with 8 sacks is the leader of this Los Angeles Ram defense. Robinson, Boutte, and Gilbert. Mike Peel replaces the injured Bill Hawkins at right end. It's Green, Kelman, Pfeiffer at the linebacker spots. And Todd Light, Darrell Henley, Pat Terrell, and Anthony Newman in the secondary. Welcome, those of you who've been watching the Washington-Kansas City game. We have the Cowboys trailing the Los Angeles Rams 7-0 here at Texas Stadium. On second and 10, Troy Aikman goes deep. Michael Irvin, as Henley had slipped. And here's Irvin after the catch. Gets by Todd Light and out of bounds at the 30. That's a 48-yard pickup, Aikman to Irvin.
The key point, Vern, as you mentioned, Henley slips and falls down, and when Irvin catches this ball, there's nobody around him. And this guy just won't settle for anything less than a big play. Likes to call himself the playmaker, averaging over 20 yards a reception, which is tops in the league by a long way.
The LA Rams drove 81 yards with their opening possession, got a 1-yard touchdown from Cleveland Gary. That's the 7th they have. The Cowboys trying to tie it up. From the 29, here's Emmett Smith. And pretty good defensive effort by the interior of that Los Angeles Ram line, led by Mark Boutte, number 96.
We talk about chess matches all the time between coaches. This is going to be a real unique chess match between offensive coordinators. The Cowboy offensive coordinator is Norv Turner. He used to work for the Ram offensive coordinator, Ernie Zampese. Zampese, of course, worked with me in San Diego, and Don Coryell, the greatest offensive coach of all time. So we should see quite a few fireworks today, and I'm kind of excited about that, Vern.
Second and 8. From the 25, here's Aikman back to throw across the middle. Jay Novacek, his tight end, makes the grab short of the first down at the 20. It'll be a gain of 6 and brings up a third down as Larry Kelm makes the tackle. Well, the Cowboys have so much that they can bring to the game offensively.
Well, this 12 touchdowns for Emmitt Smith is ties for a Cowboy record in one season, and he's got 7 more games to go. Then you go to Aikman and Irvin and Novacek, all among the leaders in the NFL, and George Dyer has to figure out some way of stopping all these weapons. It won't be easy.
3rd and 2 from the Ram 20. Smith comes left with Darrell Johnson blocking, and he is hit close to the first down. Don't know if he got it or not. Larry Kelm makes the tackle. There's Larry Kelm, the one-time Texas A&M player.
Number 25 is Chris Grooms, a nickelback coming in and fighting off the block of Jay Novacek, and then getting help from Kelm and Terrell. Good job by the young rookie who's playing here in Texas for the first time after playing at A&M.
That was Aggie and Aggie. And here comes the chain from across the field. 7-0 ball game. Rams lead. And they need that much. They're going to be short of the first down.
Big decision time. Yeah, big decision now for Jimmy Johnson. He's sending out his kicker. The crowd doesn't like it.
I'm surprised. They are 4 of 5 on 4th down conversions. They are meeting the team that is dead last in the league against the run.
And they have the best runner in the National Football League.
And he's going to settle for 3. It's a little bit surprising. Maybe he's going to settle for 3.
Well, with this special teams outfit coached by Joe Avezzano, you never know. They're one of the top special teams unit in the entire league. But this is awful early in the game to be going with the fake.
has hit his last 5 in succession. 37 yards out to put the Cowboys on the board. Elliott has now made it 6 in a row. The Cowboys pass on the option of running for the first down, and they settle for 3 to narrow the margin to 4. Dallas Cowboys came in leading the division, of course, and they're getting a lot of help from other people around the league. Washington loses big at Kansas City. Philadelphia, Herschel Walker fumbles with less than 30 seconds to go in the game. Chris Jackie's field goal from 41 gives Green Bay a victory over Philadelphia. The Giants play in Denver tonight. Cowboys will kick it off to the Los Angeles Rams.
You wonder about Jimmy Johnson and whether he knows about those upsets. As far as the Packers beating the Eagles, I don't think we're going to call the Redskin loss an upset, but the fact is 2 NFC East teams lost today. He doesn't want to be the third. It'd be wonderful to have a 3-game lead in this division, especially when you look forward to what the Cowboys have to do on the road coming up.
Vernon Turner and David Lang are deep again for Lynn Elliott's kick. That's a dandy. And Vernon Turner will not be able to bring that one out. Lynn Elliott really got his foot into that. And look at the start for Cleveland Gary on the opening possession of the ball game for the LA Rams. 46 yards, and he'd also caught a pass. Scored the touchdown from 1 yard out.
And in talking to Ernie Zampese earlier in the week about Cleveland, Gary says he's a real free spirit. He's not real interested in a lot of practice. He said kind of one of those guys that if you were on a Sandlot team, you'd pick him first. He'd say, great, let's go and play, and he'd get a big day.
1st and 10, Los Angeles. They lead 7-3. That's Jim Price, the extra tight end. Everett flushed out of the pocket. He's pressured. Cleveland Gary makes the catch, and Casillas knocks it down. Tony Tolbert gets credit for a pressure. He altered Jim Everett's route.
Well, he's got 6 sacks on the year. On the left side of the screen is Tolbert, 92. And he's really enjoying a great year. Jimmy Johnson calls him his most consistent defensive player, both against the pass and against the run. That was a big loss for the Cowboys, pinning it on the Rams.
Took the inside route against Jackie Slater, and the end result, -7. Casillas urges the crowd on. It's 2nd and 17. Draw play. Gary goes left, brings it back out to the 20, the original line of scrimmage. And it will be 3rd down and 10.
We talked a lot about those 3rd down conversion stats, Vern. Well, that you might say, well, gee, they're great on 3rd down, but as you mentioned, the average is over 7 yards every time. So that means they're playing pretty good defense on 1st and 2nd down. This latest possession for the Rams, the big loss on 1st down, now will set up a real tough 3rd and 10 conversion attempt for LA.
Well, for the season, the Cowboys have allowed 3 conversions out of 9 on 3rd and 10, to give you an idea. Here comes the rush. There goes Everett. And he will slide down short of the 1st down. He gained 6.
Well, he gained 6, but he didn't get anywhere near the 1st down. Sometimes when you break that pocket, you've got to hang around behind the line of scrimmage and hope somebody will come loose. Very rarely will a quarterback pick up 10 yards unless his name is Randall Cunningham or Steve Young. Certainly Jim Everett, that's not the strong part of his game.
Calvin Martin has 1 return for a touchdown this year. Cowboys said they might come after Bracken today. Here they come. Clayton Holmes got in his way, and Calvin Martin picks it up. Gets it out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Boy, as a punter, you know when you're going up a team that has had success blocking punts. And it certainly looked that time like Bracken took his eye off the ball. and forced a bad punt.
Texas Stadium opened in October of 1971 and was filled to capacity for almost all the games in the 70s. There was a stretch in the mid-80s when things went awry, but the fun is back in this place now. Dwayne Thomas scored the first touchdown here. 47-yard run. Here's Emmitt Smith. Gets it out to the 50-yard line.
And Emmitt Smith is going to break all of Dwayne Thomas's records if he has any left. Tony Dorsett's, Herschel Walker's. This guy in just his third year has really been a pleasant surprise to the Cowboys. The thing that Johnson liked about him and the way he likes to evaluate talent is, does he produce? Is he a big playmaker? Regardless of all the statistics, size, speed, height, and weight, does he make plays? Well, Emmitt Smith has made them all 3 years.
Second down and 3. We welcome the rest of you to Texas Stadium, where it's a 7-3 Los Angeles lead with just about 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Gerald Robinson makes that tackle on Emmitt Smith. Los Angeles, just to bring you up to speed, scored on the opening possession. They went 81 yards. Cleveland Gary carrying for most of it. Then Gary got the touchdown from a yard out. And then on the ensuing possession by the Dallas Cowboys, a 48-yard pass from Aikman to Michael Irvin set up what ultimately became a 37-yard field goal by the nether. And now the stretch of the chain, and the Cowboys, it appears, have a fresh set of downs.
See, the Cowboys are knuckling down now. They started their first drive with a couple of passes, got the big play to Michael Irvin, but the last 2 plays on this possession, they've gone right back to Emmitt Smith. The good field position helps out with the play selection from North Turner.
Cowboys have won 11 in a row at Texas Stadium. So with the victories have come the full houses. First down and 10. There's the flea flicker pass back to Aikman, and he's going deep into triple coverage. Alvin Harper is intercepted by Henley, who then drops the ball. I am shocked that Aikman decided to throw the ball. It wasn't double coverage. 3 of them down there who didn't buy the fake run into the line.
Well, when you look at Alvin Harper, though, you say he's 6'5", and these Ram defensive backs, Darrell Henley is 5'9", Terrell is a 6-footer. So what he's doing is he's giving Harper a chance to make a play. My question is this an interception? The ground cannot cause the fumble, but you have to come down with possession, and as he hits the ground, the ball comes loose.
So Henley does not get credit for the pick. And it's second down and 10. They come left, and Emmitt Smith. There's a flag down. Red Cashin is our referee today. Michael Irvin. Obviously, I would guess it's going to be on Michael.
You think it might be number 88 holding? Illegal use of the hands against the Cowboys. Bring up a 2nd and 20 if the Rams decide to take it.
I'm going to go back to the point, Dan, that you made here, Red Cashin.
Illegal block during the run. Number 88 of the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, still second down.
You mentioned the heights of the defensive backs of the Rams. You were telling me that that's the first thing you would check when you've got a scouting report on the opposing team.
Well, I always wanted to figure out some type of edge. In San Diego, I had 6'5" Kellen Winslow, and if I saw that one of the defensive backs for my opponent was 5'8", I said, well, coach, we got to throw the ball to Kellen on this guy. And, it's just one of those edges, and I'm sure that's what's going through Aikman's mind.
2nd and 17. Down. There's a catch by Darrell Johnston. He picks up about 8, but this one may come back.
It looked like they got Sean Gilbert with the hard count. I got a feel for Darrell Johnston. He doesn't get that many chances to get his hands on the ball. Had a nice 8-yard gain there, but we'll see whether the Cowboys take the penalty, which they should, because that would save them a down, bring up a second down instead of third. So one of Darrell's few plays will be erased.
Darrell Johnson, who doesn't run the ball much, as a matter of fact, 12 times in 9 games. But he was really excited yesterday because he said, hey, they got 3 plays in for me.
Both sides. Number 90 on the defense. 5 yards. Still second down.
Yeah, they had a couple of belly plays and a trap and an outside. And when I asked Coach Turner about it, Coach Turner said, he's dreaming. We're not going to run those plays until the fourth quarter when we're up by 20 points.
So if all things stand as they should, Johnston will get his usual 1 carry per ball game. Second down and 12. He handles that role very well, though, walking back to Emmett Smith. Aikman on the line, almost picked off. Todd Light almost had the interception. It'll be 3rd and 12.
This is one of the trademarks of the Dallas offense, is the 5-step drop and throwing the slant pattern, or the skinny post as some coaches like to call it. That ball was probably 1 inch thrown too far, but Irvin should have made that grab. That ball wasn't that poorly thrown.
That brings up a 3rd down and 12 with 27 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. 7-3 LA.
It's tough as a quarterback to be 1 inch off.
Aikman for Kelvin Martin. He's got the first down. Little delay pattern by number 83, Kelvin Martin. First down Dallas after a gain of 16.
We talked a lot about the similarities in the 2 pass offenses, but what Turner has done with his Cowboy team is he has recognized that players like Martin and Irvin and Harper have good running ability, similar to what the 49ers do with the short crossing routes. Give the guys the ball and let them run for that first down. That time, that was wide open for Martin, and he converted on 3rd.
A lot of folks call that rack yardage, RAC, run after the catch.
Rack it up. First down.
That is the end of the first quarter with our score. The Los Angeles Rams on top of the Dallas Cowboys by a count of 7-3. Cleveland Gary got the Ram touchdown. Lynn Elliott, a 37-yard field goal, but the Cowboys are now on the move.
Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Texas Stadium in Irving, we began quarter number 2 with the Los Angeles Rams under Chuck Knox in his second time around as the head coach of the Rams, leading 7-3. In their last 4 losses, they've had some tough ones. At San Francisco, they lose by 3. At New Orleans, at Atlanta, and then they lose last week to Phoenix at home.
Big difference between this year and last year. Last year, with the identical record, the players said, yeah, but we were never in those games. We were getting blown out. Different story this year.
Emmett Smith gets a pretty good block from Novacek, breaks the tackle, flies down the sidelines. Pat Carroll knocks him out of bounds near the 5-yard line.
Well, Jay Novacek isn't known for his blocking, but let's check him out here. Number 84. It's going to be the key one on Pfeiffer, but Pfeiffer's expecting a pass play. He was dropping back into coverage, and Novacek just took him on down the field. Strange play by Roman Pfeiffer, dropping back in pass coverage when the play is coming right at him on the ground.
28 yards for Emmett Smith. He needed only 37 to go over 1,000. He's done it. Emmett Smith comes right. This could break another record. It does. Touchdown. In 1977, Tony Dorsett scored 12 on the ground. In 1986, Herschel Walker scored 12 on the ground. That's number 13 for the season on the ground for Emmett Smith.
And he still has 6.5 games to go.
How do you like the guys who got him in the fantasy football leagues?
Like to try to make a trade for him.
Lynn Elliott out of Steve Berline's hold to tack on the extra point.
When you run the ball tough in the middle, the defense has to respect that, especially down this part of the field. The ability to bounce to the outside
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Levi's Dockers, nobody does colors like Dockers. And by UPS for reliable, on-time delivery throughout Europe and around the world. Trust UPS.
14:26 to go first half, and the Cowboys on Emmitt Smith's touchdown have gone on top. Here's the kickoff, and Lynn Elliott sends it 3 yards deep this time. Excellent downfield play by Chad Hennings. The one-time Air Force pilot gets a big congratulatory hug from Joe Avizano, the special teams coach. Just think, a year and a half ago, he was flying missions in Kuwait. He came out and asked to be played.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
14-17 remaining first half. Chad Hennings, who during Desert Storm was flying missions for the Air Force, supplying the Kurds in Iraq. And here he is making a big hit on the special teams for the Dallas Cowboys. Cleveland Gary breaks a tackle, and he moves it out to the 23-yard line as the Rams take over once again. Thomas Everett makes the tackle, number 31.
They see a big smile from Gary. Running backs love to acknowledge a good hit, especially after they pick up 5 or 6 or 7 yards. Let's take a look at Jackie Slater, number 78, coming out on the linebacker. That's Ken Norton, number 51, and pushes him 10 yards down the field. And look where Gary finds the hole, right where Norton left.
Second down and 3, Jim Price in the lineup. Here's Gary again, comes left, this time nothing doing. Good penetration, and it came from Russell Maryland, his former teammate at the University of Miami. Russell Maryland, unwanted by most collegians out of the Chicago area. Jimmy Johnson said, we'll take a chance on him. All he did later was become the number 1 draft choice in the National Football League.
And he really fits in well with this mix now that the Cowboys use on defense. They like to use 18, 19 players. They take out the little Russell Maryland and bring in the big cat, Leon Lett, number 78.
4 wide receiver set on 3rd and 4. Everett, right side, incomplete. Jeff Chadwick dropped it, had it in his hands. It'll be 4th down. New Orleans jumping on the 49ers early. And Tampa Bay jumping on Chicago.
A lot of people jumping around so far today.
Here's Kelvin Martin back. Joe Avizano said his special teams punt blocking unit was looking for something today, and they might come a couple of times early, but this time they've got the return on all the way because of field position. There's Don Bracken. Good punt. Martin at the 29. Good downfield coverage by the Rams. That's a 48-yard punt and only 3 on the return for Kelvin Martin. 12:36 remaining first half. Cowboys up by 3. There's a flag at the 40-yard line. And red cashing indicates that it's against Dallas. Here's the call from Cashin.
Holding by the receivers after the ball was kicked. Post-possession foul, 10 yards from where it was caught. First down at 10.
I think Jimmy Johnson understands all that, and he doesn't seem dissatisfied. 12:36 to go. 12:36 remaining first half on a glorious November Sunday afternoon. Temperature expected to reach a high of 74 today. And Los Angeles Rams trail the Dallas Cowboys 10-7. Dallas has the ball, first down 10 at the 20. That's Novacek in motion out of the backfield. Aikman, deep right side for Michael Irvin. And he is double-teamed and knocked backwards by Todd Light and Anthony Newman. And Irvin's going to be a little slow getting up.
Talking to Aikman earlier in the week, he said the most amazing thing about this year for him so far is he has not gotten up on Monday morning and felt sore.
And Dan,
this is a guy that's been sacked 104 times in his career, and so far this year they're doing a great job of protecting him.
No sacks last week. Only 14 for the season. And he's also been injury prone in his first 3 years. He's been absolutely the picture of health this year. Here's Emmett Smith out near the 35-yard line. Tackle was made by Kevin Green, number 91. In overtime, the Patriots win their first. Chatting yesterday with Daryl Johnston about his former college coach, Dick McPherson of the New England Patriots, and all of us wish Dick well. Underwent colon surgery earlier this week, and we hope he has a speedy recovery. Daryl Johnston telling some great stories about Coach Mack yesterday.
And you know, seeing that score, that's got to make Coach Mack feel better.
They look for Daryl Johnston. Kevin Green with the tackle. And the ball is fumbled out of bounds, but the Cowboys do retain possession with a first down out at the 43.
Getting back to Aikman and his injury problems, he's probably his own worst enemy because he's so tough and he's so willing to hang in the pocket. You see the face or the chin strap he wears. That's one of those Evel Knievel crash jobs. Under that chin strap, there are over 40 stitches that he has suffered in his career from hits to that chin. You might call Troy Aikman a chin-first quarterback, one of the toughest in the league.
First and 10 Dallas. They lead it by a 10-7 count. Play action. Michael Irvin on the crossing route, wide open. Boy, there was some kind of blown assignment then defensively. That is a gain of 32 to go with another gain earlier of 48 for Michael Irvin.
It's a similar route to the one where Aikman threw it down the field to Harper into that triple coverage. He had Irvin open that time. This time it's going to be from the left side of the screen, and it's a play-action pass. There you see Irvin, and he gets into the zone that number 58 Roman Pfeiffer should be covering. But when you run the ball well, as the Cowboys do with Emmitt Smith, you got to think run first. That's why Irvin was so wide open on that one.
Over the course of the last 14 games, Michael Irvin is averaging 109 yards per game in catches. Here they go again. Nope. Dropped this one. In front of Todd Light.
That one was almost too easy for Irvin. That's 2 drops on the day for him.
Did I see a kid wearing a freebie jersey down there? It looked like the name on the back of his jersey said freebie.
Well, here's the second catch of the day that Irvin has dropped. Right off the fingertips. And Light just a step behind. There's your guy Freebie wearing number 17.
Don Meredith.
Perfect. That might be Meredith.
He hasn't been seen in recent years outside of Santa Fe. Timeout. Play clock was down to 5. So the Cowboys moving again, and they have a 3-point lead. Well, Don Meredith, dandy as we all knew him and loved him, played only 9 seasons for the Cowboys. He retired at 31 and now lives in Santa Fe with his wife Susan. And there's a guy wearing his jersey. I can tell you that guy, the name is appropriate because he's on the first row on the 11th yard line. Not a great seat. Up the middle, inside the 20 near the 17. Emmitt Smith. Picked up 5.
Yeah, and just a real, very quiet 5. Got in the middle of that big pile, and all those guys, Newton, Cisick, Stepnoski, Tuane, and Williams, it was almost like a flying wedge. They just keep pushing forward, and Smith gets right in behind them. Nice, safe place to be. Even Johnston's in the mix there, pushing Kelm out of the way. Great block by Johnston as he puts Kelm on his back.
3rd down and 5 at the 19. The Cowboys leading 10-7 over the LA Rams. Aikman settles short at the 17. That'll be short of the first down. Kelvin Martin with the grab, and a flag is down.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against the Cowboys. Rams came with some heat that time. On the blitz, good defensive call by George Dyer, their defensive coordinator.
And the option resting. It will be 4th down if the Rams decline the penalty and take the play. And here's Red Cashin.
Holding number 61 on the offense. 10 yards, still 3rd down.
Nate Newton. And the penalty will be accepted.
Yeah, Red Cashin must have a chest cold or something. He's really not into this one today. I mean, he's usually the guy that gives you the first down.
It's a home game for Red. He lives down in Bryan, only 90 miles or so south of here.
You didn't have to tell me he was from Texas.
I didn't think I would. What was your first clue?
First down.
3rd and 15. Settles for Emmitt Smith. Anthony Newman and Robert Bailey. It's Robert Bailey, number 28, who makes the tackle, and that'll bring on Elliott after a 5-yard gain.
That was a real important defensive sequence for the Rams. Looked like the Cowboys were rolling there. Got the big pass play to Michael Irvin again, but again they're going to have to settle for a field goal.
Elliott now 12 of 20 for the season, but had a kind of a shaky start. He has hit his last 6, and this will be from 42 yards out. Erline will hold. That's going to be good. Nailed it. 7 in a row for the young man from Texas Tech University. Cowboys trailed 7-0 midway through the first quarter, but they've scored the last 13. It has been a ground game thus far. Emmitt Smith has passed the 1,000-yard mark for the season. Cleveland Gary rushed for a touchdown as the Rams went 81 yards in the opening drive, but they've now yielded 13 consecutive points, and Dallas leads it by 6. Lynn Elliott will kick it off. And this will be returned. Vernon Turner out near the 21-yard line as he went right, and the tackle was made by Kenneth Gant, number 29. Cowboys came in with an 8-1 record. They lead it by 6 midway through quarter number 2. Beautiful skyline at downtown Dallas, and we're at Texas Stadium, some 15 miles away. Inside the hole in the roof, where the Dallas Cowboys lead 13-7. Rams first down and 10. Charles Haley is in the lineup. Here's the pass to Pat Carter, the tight end. And he's got a first down out of 35. Pat Carter, his 15th catch of the season. There's Charles Haley. He injured a groin muscle in practice on Wednesday, and we weren't certain how much we would see of him today.
No, and what the Cowboys have done is they moved him over to the left side, replacing Tony Tolbert, and have Jim Jeffcoat. The thing the Cowboys have so unique is they have so many defensive linemen that they can plug in different spots here.
First down and 10 Rams, Jim Price. The motion man, here's Cleveland Gary between the tackles and out to the 40 where Ken Norton Jr. makes the stop.
Ken Norton was very interested in that fight the other night. Said it was one of the greatest fights he's ever seen since you know who beat you know who.
Dad and Ali.
Yeah.
Ken Norton Jr. Steve Young has scored for the 49ers, and Eddie Murray has kicked a field goal for Tampa Bay as former Cowboy kicker Ken Willis was waived by the Buccaneers earlier this week. Second down at the 40. Everett back. tripped and fell before the rush got there. See if Jim Jeffcoat gets credit for a sack here, but
yeah, the first guy to him that touches him will get credit for it, and I think you're right, it was. But this is just a trip. He just falls down over his own feet. His left foot hooked behind his right ankle. There's Jeffcoat will go in there and dive on him and pick up the easiest sack of his career. And number 6.5 on the year.
Jim Jeffcoat, who was a #1 draft choice in 1983, and along with Mark Tuinei and Bill Bates, have seen both the best and the worst here in Dallas. But boy, how they must be enjoying their current status as an 8-1 team. Jim Everett, nice catch. Flipper Anderson in front of Larry Brown. That's a first down at the 49. And a gain of 19 yards.
We talked about how the Cowboys like that slant pass. Well, Norv Turner learned it from Ernie Zampese when he was an assistant under Zampese with the Rams. And Everett and the Rams throw it every bit as good as Aikman and the Cowboys. It's 5 steps and you just try to hit it right in the seam between the defensive backs, and that's a big first down for LA.
Jim Everett 6 of 8 for 59 yards. He's a streaky quarterback, and if he gets on a roll, tough to stop. First down and 10. Cleveland Gary, big hole, and he goes right through another one and down to the 22-yard line. He turned Kevin Smith, the rookie, around.
It was a huge hole over the right side, but the big cut, north and south cut down the field, is what. Watch the block by Pat Carter on the pick out here on Tolbert. And then, as Gary gets into the secondary, that's a nice block by the tight end. He makes a great move heading straight upfield, and there goes Smith down to the ground.
First down and 10 Rams. They trail by 6. Play action. Everett looks in the end zone, fires it deep, incomplete. It's Kevin Smith who just got burned on a play, knocking it away from Henry Eller.
Now we saw Aikman earlier give his receiver a chance to make a grab in the end zone. That time Everett's real lucky that Smith doesn't pick this one off. This is a heck of a recovery by Smith, and then he gets his right hand on it. Can't quite pull it in. But he does the most important thing. He keeps Ellard from making the grab.
Kevin Smith, the Cowboys' #1 draft choice in 1992 from Texas A&M. Cox comes near side, Ellard to the right on 2nd and 10. 13-7, Dallas leads. Gary hit behind the line. Jim Jeffcoat. A loss of 4.
Playing back at right end is his natural position, and he just jumps right inside the block of tight end Pat Carter, but it's a good slant move there that time. That was a predetermined slant by the entire line, and Carter was not ready for the quickness of Jeffcoat.
You talked to Dave Wanstead, the defensive coordinator, about how Jeffcoat has adapted. He said Haley came in, he starts, but Jeffcoat has just been terrific. Oops. This time he jumps off, free play, incomplete.
Boy, and Flipper Anderson did a real bonehead play there by stopping. That was a free play. He noticed the flag, but he stopped on his route. That's the time you want to go even harder. Watch, this ball is going to be really well thrown by Everett. And now Anderson, for some reason, just stops on the play. He had Brown back on his heels, and that could have been a potential touchdown for the Rams. That's that old free play where you just know you've got the defense offsides. Everett knew it. He went through with the play. Anderson's got to do the same thing.
Didn't. And it's now 3rd down. 3rd and 9 after the 5-yard penalty against Jeffcoat. 4 receivers, 3 of whom go to the right side. And Jim Everett will operate out of the shotgun. 4-man rush. Everett pulls up, fires, has a man open. 1st and goal. Los Angeles at the 8. It's Jeff Chadwick with the ball.
This is a nice job of Everett buying that time we talked about earlier. Here's Chadwick. He's going to work down and across the middle and find a hole in this seam. It's a nice rub there by Aaron Cox, and Everett does a great job of finding him wide open over the middle.
This has been the second impressive drive by Los Angeles in the ballgame. They have a first and goal from the 7. Gary cuts it back to the left, but good defensive pursuit denies him a gain. He is knocked down at the 9-yard line by James Washington and Larry Brown. Washington, a former Ram who was a Plan B acquisition by Dallas a few years back.
This is just great team defense. A fast start by Casillas takes Malinicek out of the play, and now it's just pursuit and more pursuit as Brown and Washington throw Gary for a 1-yard loss.
There's James Washington. Darrell Henley was a college classmate of his. Said they called him the Dream because of a facial resemblance to Hakeem Olajuwon. Second and goal. Everett looking left all the way. Touchdown! Jeff Chadwick, his second TD catch of the year. Larry Brown victimized. And Tony Zendejas on to tack on the go-ahead point. Chadwick holding his ribs. Here's Zendejas. Mike Pagel will hold it. Rams lead it 14-13.
We talked about the Rams and how well they throw the slant pattern. Good job of Chadwick fighting his way inside against Larry Brown. Protection there, and it's a strike from Everett.
Los Angeles Rams playing on the road where they haven't won this season, but they have a 1-point edge after Jeff Chadwick makes the catch from Jim Everett. Everett now 8 of 11 for 80 yards. And we've got 2:15 before halftime. 14-13, Los Angeles. Zendejas, Kelvin Martin has it bounced, and it'll go into the end zone where he'll drop to one knee and touchback. Cowboys bring it out to the 20-yard line.
That really was a heck of a drive led by Jim Everett. Remember, he had to overcome the embarrassing point when he tripped over his own feet for a sack.
14-13 Los Angeles with 2:07 remaining in the first half. Cowboys have 2 timeouts left and 80 yards to go for a touchdown. They would, I'm sure, be more than pleased to give Lynn Elliott a chance for a field goal to take a halftime lead. First and 10. They had to use 1 timeout earlier when the play clock almost expired on them. Troy Aikman is 7 of 11. They hand it off to Emmitt Smith. And the clock will stop on the 2-minute warning now. After a very modest gain by Smith and a tackle by Mike Peel. 2 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Rams lead by 1. (14-13) Los Angeles leads with 2 minutes to go in the first half. The Rams played here in 1989, and Jerry Jones is remembering before the game how the Cowboys had a lead of 10 points and the ball at the 50 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and they wound up losing 35-31. That was during the 1-15 season.
And it was that game that convinced Jimmy Johnson he needed to change his offense, and he went out and got the quarterback coach of the Rams, Norville Turner, to come down here to be his offensive coordinator.
And things have kind of turned around since then, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Left side, Novacek. First down, Dallas at the 32. They'll hurry up and try and save a timeout now. They pick up 10 yards on that play. 1:45 to go. Aikman looks out at Alvin Harper. 4-man rush by the Rams. They go behind Michael Irvin, incomplete. 1:32 to go before halftime.
And Aikman really is thinking, I need to get 40 yards to put Elliott in position for a field goal less than 50 yards. So that's what's on his mind right now. You'd like to go down and get a touchdown, but the important thing is to get the lead before halftime.
Second down and 10. 1:32 to go. And again, the Cowboys with 2 timeouts left. Aikman into the flat for Emmitt Smith. Kevin Green was coming on a pass rush that time, and Robert Bailey was defending on the play.
That ball is thrown a little bit higher. Bailey picks it off and goes in for 6 the other way. Good pressure by Green, but Aikman had a lot of time to find somebody, settled on his outlet receiver, and is real lucky it wasn't picked off.
New Orleans at halftime leading the 49ers by 3. We're a minute 27 away from the half, and it's 3rd and 10. Or Seattle may not score again in 92.
Averaging 6 points a game.
Here comes Kevin Green again, and he knocks the ball free as Aikman tried to flip it out. Eric Williams was blocking alone on Kevin Green, and Green won that battle.
He's one of the very best at rushing the passer, and the Rams put him in the down stance on nickel situations, and this is why. Watch him from the right side of the screen here, working against big Eric Williams. Williams having a heavy year in his second year, but it's the experience of knowing when you're beat to jump up in the air and try and knock the ball down. Green did just that.
Los Angeles has 15 pass deflections among the members of its front 4, and in this instance, I think you could count Kevin Green as one of them because he was in a down position. Here's Mike Saxon on to punt. Vernon Turner, fair catch at the 21-yard line. So the Rams will have a chance to add to their total. They have all 3 timeouts left. Next weekend, CBS Sports presents the Franklin Funds Sharp Shootout, hosted by Greg Norman. Other players competing include Fran Couples, John Daly, Arnold Palmer, Tom Kite, and Davis Love III. That's next weekend on CBS Sports.
That wasn't me playing the drum.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
sorry.
The Sharp Shootout. First and 10. Everett, 8 of 11. Left side incomplete. Willie Anderson and Jim Everett were not on the same page. As a matter of fact, Thomas Everett was closer to the ball than Willie Anderson. Talked about Everett being a streaky player. Earlier this season, he had 12 in a row against the 49ers. And he had 11 in a row against the Giants, 14 in a row against Atlanta, and 13 versus Phoenix. Boy, if he gets in a groove.
Well, it's up to these big guys up front to get him in that groove. So far today, they've done just that. He's only had 1 sack, and that's when he tripped over his own feet.
Second and 10. 1:11 to go. First half. They hand it off to Cleveland Gary, and he is knocked down at the 25-yard line. See if the Rams use one of their timeouts here. They will. They call time. It's Dallas that calls time. So the Cowboys stop the clock. They have 1 left. They stop the clock with 62 seconds to go. First half. (14-13) Los Angeles. They have a touchdown toss. Jim Everett to Jeff Chadwick to complement a 1-yard touchdown run by Cleveland Gary. And now they have a 3rd down and 7 from their own 25 with a minute 2 to go first half. Cowboys will send 3 and drop 8. Everett across the middle, caught, first down at the 33-yard line. And it's Chadwick again with a grab.
And it's over the middle again for Chadwick, something the Rams haven't been getting this year from any other receiver, but he's so dependable over the middle. That's why he's on this ball club.
So Los Angeles uses 1 of its 3, having acquired the first down.
Well, watch Chadwick just work down across the middle, but they're just dropping back into real soft zones here by the Cowboys. This is smart football by Dallas, and a heck of a grab by Chadwick in traffic.
Got it in front of Kenneth Gant, made the catch, and then LA called timeout to stop the clock with 55 seconds to go.
We talked earlier about Aikman wanting to get 40 yards. Well, 35 yards now will put Zendejas within his range for a field goal.
1st and 10, Rams. They lead by 1, 14-13. Right side, Aaron Cox. And that's another Los Angeles first down, and it stops the clock at the 47-yard line. Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry with all the scores, highlights, and the latest information from around the league. Aaron Cox, who grew up near the Los Angeles Coliseum and then elected to play football at Arizona State University.
There's the guru, Ernie Zampese.
Looks like he's hiding behind the desk. 1st and 10. Everett dances right. Pulls up and fires deep for Flipper Anderson, and it's incomplete as Isaac Holt was among those covering. Thomas Everett was also down there. Kansas City knocked off Washington after they jumped up 28-0 in that game. Green Bay got a 41-yard field goal with no time left to defeat Philadelphia. Houston outlasted Minnesota 17-13. Pittsburgh defeats Detroit by 3. San Diego and Cleveland now both 5-5. And the Jets won for the 3rd time this year. 2nd and 10 at the 47. 14-13 Los Angeles. Everett short. That time the pressure was there. No sack, but he had to hurry his throw. Tony Casillas, Jim Everett, Leon Lett, and Tony Tolbert.
Interesting, we start talking about statistics for defensive linemen a few years back, 20 or so. They said that, when you tackle the quarterback, we'll give you a sack, and that'll be an official statistic for defensive linemen. I got a feeling, though, that in the not too distant future, we're going to be talking about pressures, and Casillas got one there. That's a pretty good definition of a pressure. Making a quarterback throw the ball before he's ready.
It's 3rd and 10. Rams have been excellent on 3rd down against the #1 3rd down team in the league. Everett pump fake, wide open, Flipper Anderson. A corner bit on the pump fake and a 45-yard pass.
We called it a chess match. What the Rams did that time is they faked that skinny post, that slant pattern. Right here to Anderson, he's going to come down and then jump over the top. But watch Isaac Holt gamble right there. That's 2 steps to the inside, and you can forget it. Perfect throw by Everett, puts the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Isaac Holt victimized, 45-yard gain, 1st and goal, Los Angeles. They lead by 1. Knocked. Gary has it, spins, drives, and is down at the 3. Tony Casillas makes the tackle.
And the Rams use their 2nd timeout. Now you go back to the decision that Dallas made to call a timeout on 2nd and 5, where the Rams looked like they were going to run the clock out. The Cowboys used a timeout on defense. In effect, that gave the Rams 4 timeouts to work with.
And now they've got 21 seconds remaining in the first half and on the verge of extending their lead.
But sometimes you kind of get into the thing where you do too much scouting, where you know a team too well. You know their tendency is to throw that slant pattern. And we've seen Everett hit Chadwick on it for a touchdown earlier today. Isaac Holt always has had the reputation as being unpredictable. He's been a gambler. He's been a great player for many, many years, and he's having a heck of a year so far. But he bit on the fake by Anderson, the good pump move by Everett, and it's a big play for L.A.
21 seconds to go, first half. 2nd and goal, Rams. They lead it 14-13. Backs are split. Everett, Gary. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Zampese gets a player down mentally, as he did Isaac Holt, and goes right back after him. That was split right slot, scat right, 364 flat, and Everett went to the flat pattern.
Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. It was what?
Scat right, 364 flat, thrown it 1,000 times as a Charger. He's following it Zampese's good orders, and it's another touchdown for the Guru.
Cleveland Gary has two, one on the ground and the other in the air.
Watch the quick drop, and this has been a key for Everett all day. It's 5 steps, read the defense, get rid of it, and Gary beats Holt to the corner of the end zone. But the pass protection is excellent. Job by Brostek there, and Malinchik and Newberry just bottling up the middle. It's a touchdown for LA.
Gary, 90 yards rushing the ball and 9 receiving. He has scored twice. Well, we talked about Los Angeles and the importance of the Rams keeping in the ball game early. They got a touchdown on their opening drive. They had been outscored 62-7, 65-7 in the first quarter this year, but they had outscored the opposition in every other quarter for the season.
And this is how they do it here. Now, it's going to be 364. There's the, but first of all, here's the 3, here's the 6, and here's the 4, and it's F flat.
I understand
and this
that.
is how it all works.
Sure, I know what you're talking about.
And of course, that was the play before, so we got our cards mixed up a little bit.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one confused.
So much for me calling the plays, huh, Vern? That's why I got out of the game. I couldn't figure them out myself.
Calvin Martin out to the 25. And the Cowboys, David Lang made the tackle. Now Troy Aikman at 21-13, Dallas trailing by 8.
And the Cowboys, you wonder about trends in the league. 2 other NFC teams lose today. Washington to Kansas City, Philadelphia to Green Bay, and now the Cowboys find themselves down by 8. You just never know about the way these things happen in threes sometimes.
Late September last year, they defeated the Giants here 21-16. They haven't been defeated at home since then. And Los Angeles has not won on the road in 11 trips. But they do lead at the half on a superb offensive performance engineered by Jim Everett. That's the end of the first half with our score. The Los Angeles Rams 21, the Cowboys 13.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by your Toyota dealer, who invite you to see the big new Toyota T100 pickup, the wines of Ernest and Julio Gallo, and by HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer. The NFL Today Dockers Halftime Report is sponsored by Levi's Dockers. Nobody does color like Dockers.
And those of you who have been watching the Rams and the Dallas Cowboys, welcome back to our studios here in New York. Greg Gumbel along with Terry Bradshaw, and the Rams leading Dallas by a score of 21-13. Cleveland Gary having an awful good day for the Rams. 89 yards rushing and 1 rushing touchdown. He's also caught a touchdown pass from Jim Everett. At Candlestick Park in San Francisco, the 49ers and the Saints in a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. Bobby Hebert throwing.
Quick post route. Greg, if you're going to throw this, you got to have great timing, and you got to know where that free safety is. Excellent job by Bobby Hebert.
49er Steve Young can throw it. He can run with it as well. Scrambles to his right, finds no one open, and decides to take it in himself. Saints lead it by a field goal. 10-7 is the score. Winner gets first place in the NFC West. In Tampa, they're at halftime, and Bear fans are not going to be pleased if it continues this way. The Bucs leading Chicago 20-0. Vinny Testaverde.
He's back, Greg. There's the play action to delay cross screen to Ron Hall, and beautiful job, good execution. Yeah, I don't know. You bench Vinny, you get him back, you traded, cut him. I don't know what, but he does play well at times.
Yeah, the Bears with 55 yards of total offense in the first half. And the Los Angeles Raiders at halftime in L.A., they are leading Seattle 13-0. Stan Gelbaugh out with a knee injury in this game. Kelly Stauffer in for the Seahawks. Now, scores and highlights from the earlier action today. We'll begin at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where the Chiefs demolished the Washington Redskins 35-16. Mark Rippon, tough day all the way around. Neil Smith didn't help any here, bringing him down near the goal line. David Craig, on the other hand, had a great day.
Great day. Got some help from Harvey Williams, who ran the ball for over 80 yards. That set up good play action. If you're going to throw play action, throw it deep. You're going to throw it deep, throw crossing routes, and there's Tim Barnett. And look at this, 35-16.
In Milwaukee, the Eagles and the Packers. Randall Cunningham back in his starting job at quarterback and gets off a nice little screen to Heath Sherman here.
Whenever I had lousy games, Greg, I loved little short passes and prayed they'd go a long way. This is a little 2-yard screen, and look at this, 75 yards. This did a world of good for Cunningham's confidence.
This game was tied at 24 all with less than a minute to play. Herschel Walker loses the handle in his own territory, fumbles. Johnny Holland recovers for Green Bay, and that set up Chris Jackie with time running out, 41 yards out. Green Bay is a winner, 27-24. The Eagles fall to 6-4 on the year. At Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, a little snow to deal with early on, but that melted away, and the Steelers' Rod Woodson causes the fumble by Eric Kramer here.
Don't hit me from my blind side. I can't see you. There's a blitz by Woodson. Kramer doesn't see it. Good job by Cornell Lake. Takes it down, sets up a great job by Bubby Brister. Comes in for an injured Neil O'Donnell. Play action. There's your touchdown to Tim Jordan.
And the Lions still have never won at Three River Stadium. 17-14 Steelers. In Minnesota, Warren Moon, tough day. Hit by Carlos Jenkins, and here comes Anthony Parker.
Oh, man, what a nice job. Look at this. Big hit by the pressure defense. 2.5 sacks today by Chris Dolman again. That puts him all the way down. Now you're going to see what happens to Moon. Look at this effort, Greg. Spins out, scrambles, doing everything he can to stay alive, and then bang, there it is.
Broken bone in his left shoulder. He's out 3 to 6 weeks. On came Cody Carlson and Lorenzo White from a yard out. The touchdown. Houston wins at 17-13. In Cleveland, Stan Humphries.
Stan Humphries, where's he from? Louisiana. What do they have? A strong arm. Love it, Greg.
14-13, Chargers over the Cleveland Browns. At the Meadowlands, the New York Jets, a little reverse action for Terrence Mathis.
A little pitch one way, a little reverse going the other. You use this play against teams that like to over-pursue with their defense.
Bengals turn the ball over 3 times. Jets win it by a field goal, 17-14. In Atlanta, Deion Sanders praying for a little help. Earlier in the game, Andre Rison burned Robert Massey for a touchdown. Massey gets a little revenge here.
Played it perfectly, a little out pattern, and a lot of times you see young quarterbacks throw interceptions in the flat. This is just a late throw by Billy Joe Tolliver.
Then on the sidelines, Billy Joe Tolliver and Jerry Glanville getting into a more than just a heated discussion. Glenville going after him, and Deion Sanders, the peacemaker.
Razor Ruddock and
Norm Johnson with a minute left in the game. 35 yards out. Falcons win it 20-17. And in Indianapolis, Batman Scott Zolak looking to get the Patriots their first win of the year. 65-yarder to Greg McMurtry.
Big arm. This kid's got a big arm. You talk about Miami, University of Miami quarterbacks in the NFL, but this guy's out of Maryland. There's 4 or 5 of them starting in the NFL. Big kid, strong arm.
That's his dad applauding in the stands. Scott Zolak says that one was for you. It's tied at 34 in overtime. Charlie Bauman from 18 yards out, and it's a 37-34 win for the Patriots. They are now 1-9 on the year as they get their first victory at the expense of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, let's take you back to for the game between the 49ers and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have added a Morton Anderson field goal, and they have extended their lead now with a 42-yard field goal to 13-7 in the third quarter at Candlestick. And the NFL continues on CBS after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 27. And by McDonald's, what you want is what you get, guaranteed at McDonald's today.
sellout crowd on hand at Texas Stadium on a gorgeous November afternoon, but they are very quiet right now because the Dallas Cowboys have fallen behind 21-13. Jim Everett hit the 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, that's really been the key. It's been the play of Everett. They've got solid ground game from Gary so far, but it's been the big play. That 45-yarder to Anderson at the end of the first half really sent the Rams to the locker room feeling great about themselves.
Well, Dan, I go back to the top of the day, and you said you thought if Los Angeles was going to win this game, that Jim Everett had to come up big and his wide receivers had to help.
Well, and it's been that offensive line. There's only been 1 sack on Everett, and that's the one time he fell down. But you got to give a lot of credit to the guys up front. Cowboys aren't out of this by any means. They've got a great football team, and you know they probably heard it from their head coach at halftime.
Tony Zendejas will kick it off. Dallas has Kelvin Martin as the deep man. Clayton Holmes is back to help in case it comes his way. 21-13, Los Angeles. Here's Kelvin Martin at the 6. Almost broken. He gets to the 29. At the half, first downs. Los Angeles with a big lead. They also have a lead on the ground and in the air. And how about this? 3rd down conversions. Dallas had given up 1 of its previous 25. And the Rams 6 of 8.
And on the year, the Cowboys had given up just 22%. The Rams are winning that battle as well as all the other numbers in the first half.
21-13. That's Michael Irvin in motion, followed by Henley. Emmett Smith. And he is tackled by Henley as he gets out near the 33-yard line.
Another tackle for Darrell Henley, who came into the game as the number 2 tackler for the Rams. Very unusual for a cornerback to be making all those tackles. But in talking to him last night, he said he didn't want to make a whole lot today. He doesn't really cherish that role. This is unusual for a football team, but when you look at their record, 3-6, it's kind of an indication when your secondary is leading you in tackles, that's not a good sign for a defense.
2nd down. Aikman comes to the right side. Michael Irvin drops the ball. Oh, there's a lack of concentration. And then he has to take an official grinning at him as he comes up.
Well, there's one man that's not grinning. It's been one of Johnson's biggest fears is how his team will concentrate. And we've seen a lack of concentration by Michael Irvin today. This is his 3rd drop of the day, and this was the easiest of the 3. Hit him right in the breadbasket. Looking to make a spin move there. Tried to get away for extra yardage. Took his eye off the ball.
3rd and 7. That catch is made by Kelvin Martin. Good for the first down at the 41-yard line. Well, Jimmy Johnson has been increasingly concerned about a growing number of distractions as the city and the country gets caught up in Dallas. As a matter of fact, Nate Newton and the offensive line had contracted to do a video of sorts. And Jimmy Johnson told Nate, I just as soon you not do that. So that's been put on hold.
It's a little bit too early in the year to be making your Super Bowl shuffle videos. Not that that was going to be of that type, but the distractions are something that have been on Johnson's mind.
First down and 10, Dallas. They trail 21-13. Emmett Smith gets the handoff, and the lead draw goes left and tried to get the block from Nate Newton. Newton said he certainly understood that he was at practice about a week or so ago, and they were stretching. Johnson walked over and stood above him, and Nate looked up and said, Coach, how you doing? He said, fine, Nate. Coach, you got something on your mind? Yeah, Nate, I do. Why don't you not do the video?
And Nate knew it was coming, and he agreed right away. Okay, Coach, whatever you say. But they really don't need those type of distractions yet. This season has got a lot of football left in it.
2nd down and 6 from the 46-yard line. Emmett Smith comes right. Gets by Kevin Green and Anthony Newman. And is out of bounds. A flag from well downfield. We might get a face mask call here.
Well, Emmett get jumped up. We might also get unnecessary roughness from Anthony Newman. And Smith was well out of bounds when Newman slammed him to the turf. It's going to be a 5-yard, it would appear, face mask penalty against Anthony Newman.
Face mask, 5 yards from where the ball is dead. 5 yards, first down.
There he goes.
Red's back.
There's the left hand by Newman.
Anthony Newman, who leads this Ram team with 4 interceptions this year, but that miscue gives Dallas a first down. They would have faced 3rd and 1. They've got the ball at the Los Angeles 45. Play action. Aikman. Michael Irvin hangs on to this one at the 35-yard line. That is almost a 10-yard gain. Todd Light with the tackle. Saints continue to lead the 49ers at Tampa Bay, rolling over Chicago. The Raiders lead Seattle. That is good enough for a first down. Michael Irvin has gone over 100 yards again. That's 4 for 103. He's averaging 20.3 yards per catch this season, but the drops have been important.
But you know one thing, that Aikman is not going to give up on him no matter how many balls he drops. But the Cowboys are going to have to call a timeout here. Some confusion in the huddle. And that could be very costly at the end of the ball game.
Between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Check your local listings for the game in your area, and remember, it all gets underway with Greg Gumbel and Terry Bradshaw on the NFL Today. There is Bill Bates.
Yeah, one of the all-time great Cowboys.
First down and 10. Aikman looks for Irvin on the crossing route. First down at the 16, a gain of 18.
The key on any crossing route, Vern, is a real sharp cut. It's got to be one of those right angle jobs, and watch Irvin plant that right foot there and come straight across the middle. Does not let Todd Light get underneath to make the deflection, and that sets up the Cowboy offense in the red area inside the 20.
Dallas trails 21-13. Just under 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Darrell Johnston comes in motion. A pump fake, and in the corner they go. Overthrown. Pat Terrell picked it off, but he was out of bounds.
That was Aikman throwing the ball away and almost not throwing it far enough away. As Terrell made the grab, but about 2 yards beyond the end line. Good read by Aikman, saw that the double move was not there that time. But interesting, it's again back to the chess match between Turner and Zampese. Zampese got the long play to Anderson at the end of the first half on a double move, similar to that one there. So Turner decides, I'm going to try one.
Second down and 10. 21-13. Los Angeles leads. Draw play, Emmitt Smith. Nothing open. Stepnoski and Johnston were shoved back into Emmitt Smith.
Well, it looked like the big right hand of Sean Gilbert, though, discouraged Emmitt Smith from trying to go to the left side. It was in a stalemate there with Stepnoski. Here he is, number 90. Watch as he gets in here and sticks his big right hand out and keeps Emmitt Smith from going to the outside. The right hand got right on his shoulder, and Emmitt said, I can't go that way.
3rd down and 12 from the 18. 2 wide receivers to the left, Kelvin Martin wide right. Novacek, who's been kind of quiet today. Now here's the pass in the end zone, almost picked off by Terrell. And Aikman threw that one into double coverage, and he had Novacek wide open over to the left-hand side.
Well, there are a lot of people in the secondary when you get down to this part of the field, and the quarterback has got to throw almost over a forest of hands. The Rams do this as well as any team. They get their hands up in the secondary. There's Pfeiffer and Terrell. showing that he's got bad hands, dropping a sure interception in the end zone.
Todd Light was saying yesterday, and Anthony Newman, that Aikman sometimes tracks a receiver, but he keeps focused on one. Here's Lynn Elliott with the field goal, and it is good. So Elliott has now hit his last 8. That one from 36. He's got 3 today, and it cuts the margin to 5 points.
Well, we talked about the tracking. Watch Aikman follow Martin down the middle, but Michael Irvin is wide open in the back of the end zone. Aikman zeroed in on one receiver and may have cost his team a touchdown.
Here's Lynn Elliott's kick. It's a dandy, and it will not be returned. Vernon Turner drops to one leg, and the Rams will get it at the 20. Well, let's go back to our New York studios and check in with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Vern, at San Francisco, the battle for the top in the NFC West. Bobby Aberry, 11 yards to Dalton Hilliard out of the backfield, 20-7. New Orleans over San Francisco in the third, Vern.
Well, they always seem to play well in Candlestick Park, the Saints.
Be tough for the 49ers to come back against that defense. I don't care where you play.
21-16 here. Jim Everett has had the hot hand. 2 touchdown tosses so far. Here's a pitch to Cleveland Gary. Vincent Smith up to make the tackle. Somewhat surprising when you look up and find that the Dallas Cowboys have the #1 defensive unit in the National Football League. But there they are.
Well, and we talked to James Washington and Thomas Everett yesterday, and I posed the question to them, do you know the #1 defensive team in the NFL? And they said, well, I think we are, aren't we? They weren't quite sure. That shows you their focus is not on statistics, but on their performance.
That is Dave Wanstead, the defensive coordinator. It's 6-12. Incomplete. Intended for Carter. Robert Jones. And what has become an increasingly vocal crowd over the last couple of years has a revived interest in this ball game. 3rd and 12.
And this stadium can be as loud as any dome stadium in the entire league, even with the hole in the roof.
They're 6 of 8, but this is 3rd and 12. Rush 3, drop 8. Settle for the short man, Cleveland Gary. One man misses the tackle, but 2 more come up to knock him out of bounds. Larry Brown and Ken Norton Jr.
Yeah, the Cowboys dropped 8 in the secondary, and they had 65,000 yelling at the quarterback. Got to really give a big hand to the crowd for coming to life here at the start of the third quarter.
That brings up a 4th down, and Don Bracken will punt it away to Kelvin Martin. Cowboys blocked 2 earlier in the season, and they're coming this time. But the kick is away. It is short, and it will bounce and take a cowboy roll before it's stopped. Blair Bush thought, just in case. Just in case.
Yeah, he got such a nice big bounce. It's probably been 20 years or so since he's been able to get a ball on the run like that.
8:35 remaining in the third quarter. Dallas trails by 5. Dallas defense talks things over on the sideline while their offensive mates have a first down and 10. Emmitt Smith calling for quiet. Dallas trailing 21-16. Michael Irvin in motion. Emmitt Smith to the 46-yard line. Robert Young makes the tackle. They went over the block of Nate Newton that time. Came here as a free agent, did Nate Newton, and has earned a niche in Cowboy lore. Extremely likable and more than talented player. He's an excellent one.
I asked him a tough question. I asked him who the best player that ever came out of Florida A&M was. He said, well, there's Willie Gallimore, there's Bob Hayes, and there's me.
He said, I got a shot at that list. Second down. Aikman with protection. Jay Novacek at the 49-yard line, short of the first down. It'll be third and about 4 as Kevin Green makes the tackle. Nate Newton is an aspiring broadcaster, and he's working for KRLD radio here in Dallas doing color on high school football game. And he said, you guys got it easy doing the network stuff. We asked him what game he did this Friday night. It was a game between the Burleson Elks and the Louisville Farmers. Louisville won big. And here's a small note to accompany that. Among those who graduated from Louisville High School, Walt Garrison, former great Cowboy. Third and 4.
Was he an elk or a farmer?
He was definitely a farmer. Left side, caught, first down. Right in front of Darrell Henley. Alvin Harper with his first grab today. And it's a first down, Dallas at the Ram 45.
Well, once Aikman and the Cowboy offense starts to feel more comfortable in Harper, you're going to have 2 outstanding threats as wide receivers. Harper's made a few big plays this year, but still is not as consistent in his route running as a quarterback would like to have, especially in this type of offense where timing is so important.
First down at the 45, 6:25 remaining third quarter. Rams lead at 21-13. Emmett Smith to the 40-yard line. That is his 16th carry of the afternoon. And he's closing in on 100 yards. Now with 82. Alvin Harper hurries off the field, and Kelvin Martin takes his place. Second down and 5 from the 40-yard line. Kevin Green and the Ram defense trying to hold back this Cowboy offense. That's a good way to do it. Mike Peel, number 95, makes the tackle.
Well, Peel has started today for Bill Hawkins. He's to the right of the screen. He's going to take the tight end, Alfredo Roberts, out of the play and then get into the backfield. Tough assignment for a tight end to block a down lineman. Peel is normally a inside defensive lineman at tackle, so he is used to having big guys blocking him, not tight ends.
Third down, 8 Dallas at the Los Angeles 43. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Aikman at the 40-yard line. Emmett Smith short of the first down. And the Cowboys will have to bring on Mike Saxon. Roman Pfeiffer with the defensive job that time.
That was a big defensive stop for the Rams because this will force a Cowboy punt. And after getting excellent field position, the Cowboys don't do anything with it.
Vernon Turner waits for it at the 10. Saxon will try and kick it out of bounds inside the 20. Darrell Johnson is the up back. And Saxon comes to the near side. There's Kenneth Gant down there. Can't get the. It'll come out to the 20. So the Ram defense holds. The Ram offense gets the ball back with 4:05 remaining third quarter.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
This is real good balance here, spreading the ball equally among the different parts of the field, but a lot of success on the right side for the Rams.
They have a first down and 10 at their own 20 now with a lead of 5. 4:05 remaining third quarter. Cleveland Gary spilled at the 23-yard line.
The Rams can't afford to get conservative at this point, and knowing Zampese, what he's looking for now with that run is some breathing room for his quarterback. This crowd was all hopped up the last time the Rams had place on the field. A good run on first down, and you take the crowd out of it, but they're fighting to get right back into it.
Ernie Zampese upstairs, the offensive coordinator. 2nd down and 7. Everett back to throw, comes deep left side where Henry Ellard makes the catch in front of Larry Brown. That's a Ram first down at the 38-yard line, a gain of 15 yards.
Good decision-making, quick decision-making by Everett has kept him upright and kept that pass rush away from him. He throws that out pattern as well as anybody. But what you never see is after the ball's gone, watch Jim Jeffcoat, number 77, on Gerald Perry. He's going to give Everett something to think about.
First down and 10, and Everett limping just a bit. They hand it off. There's a mix-up. Cleveland Gary. He does get yardage across the 40 near the 43, and Russell Maryland, number 67, makes the tackle.
It looked like Everett wanted to hand that ball underneath instead of over the top. Watch as he stumbles coming out from center. Amazing thing is that with Newberry's nice block there, it's still a nice hole and a gain of 6.
And the ball at the 43-yard line. Gary with 20 carries for the day and 96 yards. He's been over 100 3 times this season. It's 2nd down and 5. Here's Cleveland Gary coming left, searching and probing, and he is knocked down with gang tackling of the Dallas Cowboys, led by Russell Maryland and Godfrey Miles. Russell Maryland, who as a senior at the University of Miami, worked out in the weight room with Tom Newberry, the starting guard of the Rams. Tom lives in Miami, in the Miami area in the offseason. And they became acquainted then. We asked Tom yesterday if he remembered him. He said, of course. But not in terms of someday going up against him. 3rd and 5. Jim Everett calls timeout. Play clock was down to 3 seconds. So Jim Everett will come over and talk with Chuck Knox. The Rams have stopped the clock, leading by 5.
Vern, I'm sure you remember your old broadcast partner when you were the voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham.
He's lost
Roger
the beard.
has the snap. No blitz this time. Rogers up in the pocket. Cocks and fires deep. Way downfield for Butch Johnson. Double coverage. Caught. Touchdown. Oh, a super catch by the Cowboy rookie. Right into the teeth of double coverage. Butch Johnson. Touchdown. Cowboys.
That doesn't date it much, does it? The Cowboy rookie.
I like that hair deal you had going there, Vern. You look sharp.
Brad's lost a beard, and I've gained 30 pounds.
Yeah, but you got another beard standing next to you now.
Here's Everett. Flag is down. They threw it right at Vern Brostek. Darren Woodson was defending. Holding Los Angeles.
And if it's against Brostek,
Holding number 61 on the offense.
And it is.
That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
he's only in his 3rd year out of the University of Washington, but he already has a reputation as being a holder in this league, and that's a terrible reputation to have as an offensive lineman.
That brings on Don Bracken with 1:26 to go, 3rd quarter. Kelvin Martin waits for it at the 15. Rams lead 21-16. That's a short punt. Martin on the run. Room to return it. One man to beat. No flags. Second of the year for Kelvin Martin. It was officially 74 yards, tack on 35 more for his run up the exit ramp.
closing on us there going up the ramp. But the key was that short punt. Not only was it just 31 yards, it was very low.
Joe Avezzano, the special teams coach, Jimmy Johnson told us yesterday, we will win the special teams battle. Earlier this season, Kelvin Martin toted one back 79 yards. And now his 74-yard punt return for a touchdown has put the Cowboys on top.
He catches it moving forward, takes 2 steps to the left, and then straight up the field. And now the non-athletic punter, Don Bracken, slips and falls down. And Martin's looking for an exit ramp. What a helpless feeling for a punter. I've been on this situation as a quarterback trying to stop guys making interceptions. You got to give it to the better athlete here. But it was a short punt and the low punt by Bracken that set up the great return for the Cowboys.
Kelvin Martin's second touchdown on a punt return this season. Joe Avezzano, the special teams coach, and it's 23-21 Cowboys.
And in talking to Johnson about how the year has gone for him this year, he said we started out the beginning of the year with our special teams playing very well. Then our offense kind of took over and carried us. Then it was our defense. And now it's back to the special teams. That's a pretty good mix to have, and that's one reason why you're considered the best team in the NFL.
Elliott will kick it off. Boy, that is a dagger in the heart of the Los Angeles Rams. Now we'll see how well they can rebound. They've not been out of any game they played this year, they feel, other than Buffalo week 1. And now Jim Everett will bring his offense back on the field.
As a quarterback, you hope for some wonderful words of wisdom from a coach after a play like that. And usually the only thing they ever tell you is, go get him, kid.
First and 10 at the 20. 1:06 to go, third quarter.
Boy, now the crowd's going to be all over Everett, making it very difficult to get his signals called.
Deep left side, incomplete. He hit Flipper Anderson, but Anderson was not on the field to play. He's talking to Jack Snow at halftime. Jack, of course, now the radio broadcaster for the Rams, one of them, and longtime great receiver for Los Angeles. He says Jim Everett is playing much, much better this season than last, and he gives a lot of credit to Ted Tollner, who is the quarterback coach in Los Angeles.
Ted has told Jim not to worry about all the negative things that happen around you. Focus on your job and don't worry about anybody else's. He's really going to have to focus now.
Second and 10.
The thing that Jim would do is after a bad play such as that punt return, he would think that, hey, I've got to make it all back on the very next possession. Well, the one thing that Tollner said is you can't go back and correct mistakes that have already happened, whether they're yours or somebody else's. The only thing you can think about is the next play, the next series of downs, and this man here has really helped turn around Jim Everett's career.
Third and 8. Shotgun formation for the Rams. Everett has been sacked just once, and that was a trip more than a sack. Flag is down. This one will come back or be declined now since it is incomplete. The illegal use of the hands to the face. Red Cashin.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face. Number 61 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Put down.
Take a look at it right in the middle. This is the big cat, Leon Lett. And there's the hand by Brostek right into the face of Lett. And again, Brostek's called for a penalty on a key third down situation.
And Kelvin Martin is back to return Don Bracken's punt again. They should come out with terrific field position. Return is on all the way. Short punt again. Martin at the 41. A flag is down as well. This time he goes left and is spilled as he gets up near the 47. But check the infraction. The yellow hanky is at the 21-yard line. .51 defense holding, and the ball was not yet kicked.
And this will be a first down for the Rams. So Ken Norton's called for holding before the ball was punted.
Little lip reading lesson there.
Before the ball was kicked. Holding by the defense, number 51. 5 yards. First down.
I love it. I've known Red for many years, and he would always come into our locker room in San Diego to get his ankles taped before the game. So I would take advantage of that situation and kind of sidle up to him on the old training table and say, "How's it going today, Red? You gonna take care of me, huh, buddy? You know, keep those big guys away from me." And Jimmy's saying, "Hey, the ball was already punted, but the officials were all over it." And it's easy to read lips from a guy from Texas. They kind of do it a little bit slower than the rest of us.
I have no idea what you're talking about. First down and 10. Gary. Out to the 29. That is the 23rd carry for Cleveland Gary, and he's got an even 100 yards for the day. That's also the end of the third quarter. 23-21 Dallas. Our coverage continues after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Let's take a look at that holding call. Norton is 51, 53 is Strickland, and they're going to call Norton for holding there, and that's a real picky call. They could have let that one go.
Yeah, that was iffy. Everett, Gary, no good. A little low and a little bit behind Cleveland Gary.
Boy, Gary had miles and miles of room in front of him. That ball thrown at his feet. Watch Everett just kind of drop this one too low to Gary. Looking for his outlet receiver here. And if Gary catches it, there's just nobody around him. The closest thing appears to be the 45-second clock. That's down behind the end zone.
3rd and 8. Everett with time into the flat for Gary. First down, another conversion for the Los Angeles Rams. Right now, let's see what's happening with the Saints and the 49ers. Here's Greg Gumbel.
All right, Vernon Candlestick, the battle for first place just got a little tighter. Steve Young over the middle to Brent Jones, 14 yards in the touchdown. It's now a 20-14 Saints lead. 8.5 minutes to play in the fourth, Vern.
All right, Greg, 14:40 to go here. 23-21 Dallas. They've gone back on top on the strength of Kelvin Martin's 74-yard punt return. But the Rams just converted, and Jim Everett is 16 of 27 for the afternoon. Into the flat again for Cleveland Gary. Goes by Godfrey Miles and flies down the sidelines. Out of bounds at the Cowboy 45-yard line. That's a gain of 16 yards.
And he's slow getting up. Rams can't afford to lose Cleveland Gary. He's been about 80% of their offense today. That's his 7th reception on the afternoon. Scored a touchdown rushing. He's got 100 yards rushing. He scored 1 touchdown receiving.
And at least for the moment, he'll have to sit out.
And you know, he could have avoided that hit and stepped out of bounds, but he was going for extra yardage, and he paid for it physically. But you got to love the effort.
Anthony Thompson is in now. He hasn't carried since he joined the Rams. Has now. And he comes into the backfield and carries for the first time with his team down 23-21.
But Thompson is no slouch, Vern. He was a #1 pick of the Phoenix Cardinals a couple of years back from Indiana. But it is kind of scary for you to come in and take your first carry of the year for a new ball club in a very close game.
David Lang is is also in the lineup, and Cleveland Gary will try and walk off the nick. It's second down at the 43-yard line. Second and 8, 23-21. Dallas leads. Here comes the blitz. Everett, hot receiver is Jim Price. Shakes the tackle and picks up more yardage as Thomas Everett went for the grab and missed him. That's the gain of 10.
And a first down. Everett, one of the better tacklers in the league. But you could just see Price setting him up after he made that catch. Stopped sharp. And Everett couldn't stop in time. Watch this move by Price after the catch. Talk about breaking sharp. Well, this is one thing where you have an advantage on this artificial turf. He plants that right foot, breaks the tackle, and picks up the first down.
Cleveland Gary back in the lineup on first down and 10 from the 34. Everett under some pressure, lets it go incomplete. The pressure came from Russell, Maryland, who got by Tom Newberry and was right at the feet of Jim Everett.
That's almost a case of a quarterback dropping back too far in the pocket and getting beyond where the offensive line expects him to be. It's always been a rap against Jim as his fundamentals, and his drops have been inconsistent. You've seen today when he's been most effective, it's when he's been back 5 steps and getting rid of the ball. That time he drifted in the pocket.
Well, he has thrown 30. That's usually an indication that you are behind, as the Rams have been much of the year. Second and 10. Draw play. Gary. He gets to the 28, perhaps the 27-yard line. Godfrey Miles makes the tackle.
You got to love this effort that Gary has given the Rams today, especially when you look back at the rough afternoon he had last week against Phoenix when he fumbled 3 times in the second half and lost 2 of them, and that brought up all those ghosts of seasons past when he had that terrible year in 1990, fumbling 12 times. 24
carries now, 7 receptions, and he hasn't come close to bobbling the ball, so that has not been a problem. Third down and 5, 23-21. Out of the shotgun, Everett. And the catch is made at the 20. That's another Los Angeles first down. Jeff Chadwick makes the grab.
And after failing to convert on any third down plays in the second half, the Rams now have done it twice in a row.
Well, we don't know how this drive is going to end, but keep in mind that it was sustained on a punt when a call was made for defensive holding on Ken Norton before the ball was kicked, and the Rams got the ball back with a first down.
Yeah, you go back and you look at that, and it's hard to tell, first, where the holding was, and second, if the holding was before the ball was, in fact, kicked.
First and 10, here's a reverse. It's given off to Vernon Turner, and he is spilled by Isaac Holt. He does get it to the 17-yard line, maybe the 16. That is his second run of the season.
Well, this is a job of just playing your responsibility by Isaac Holt. Here he is, the corner right here, and he doesn't follow any of the fake as it comes over here and the reverse comes around. Watch number 30. He's just going to sit there, look in the backfield, and then come up and make a great open field tackle.
Second down from the 15. Second and 5. Play fake. Everett fires it. Caught. Incomplete pass, almost picked off. Isaac Holt had the first hit, and it was huge.
Well, it's a bootleg, and again, Isaac Holt just playing his responsibility on the field. He drills Travis McGee, and Ken Norton cannot come up with the interception. Good job of the veteran Holt doing what he's supposed to do. The ball bounced off his backside, and Norton can't quite pick it up.
Travis McNeil is the injured player. Time has been called. It'll be third down when we come back.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Kelvin Martin's 74-yard punt return has put the Cowboys on top. But look at the Rams' third down conversions. They've got a third down right now at the 15. Maximum blitz. Pass left side incomplete. As Dave Wanstead brought his defensive troops en masse that time.
And good coverage by Thomas Everett. Jim Everett just threw that ball over the top and out of play so that he ensures that his team will at least get a chance to take the lead on a Zendejas field goal.
Tony Zendejas has not kicked that many this year. He's only 7 of 11. Mike Pagel will hold, and this could give Los Angeles the lead. 33-yard field goal attempt. Got it. Rams lead. The 16th play of a drive that was renewed on a defensive holding call on Ken Norton Jr. on a punt. But Zendejas has kicked it through for the 8th time in 92, and the Rams lead by 1.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, builder of fine automobiles since 1886. Norelco, patented lift and cut shavers. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, the special delivery company.
33-yard field goal by Tony Zendejas at the end of a 65-yard drive has put the Los Angeles Rams back on top, 24-23. They led last week at home by 1 to Phoenix and wound up losing 20-14. Here's Kelvin Martin, and he's knocked down at the 21-yard line. Regional action of the NFL next week on CBS. Most of you will see Philadelphia at the New York Giants. Check the local listings for the game in your area, and remember that it all gets underway with Greg Gumbel and Terry Bradshaw on the NFL Today.
Giants have a chance to move into a tie with Washington and Philly this evening against Denver. Won't be easy, though, in Mile High.
First down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Troy Aikman, a rather modest 14 of 24 for 184. Throws deep left side. Michael Irvin makes the catch and is kept inbounds to the 33-yard line, but he does get a first down.
It's amazing that Irvin catches so many balls. He's really the only threat as a wide receiver the Cowboys have, and yet teams continue to leave him single covered. And he's having another big day in receiving, averaging over 20 yards a catch again today.
6 for 134 for Michael Irvin this afternoon. First down 10, Dallas at the 33. Aikman, good downfield coverage, and he finally finds a short receiver at the 38-yard line. That's Darrell Johnston, number 48.
We talked about Johnston and the fact that his maximum amount of carries in a game is going to be about 2. He's averaging 1 carry a game, and he says he's still looking for that magical 100-yard season.
He might find it at the end of a bungee cord. He's been bungee jumping 3 times. Last time was on St. Patrick's Day.
That fits.
Yes, doesn't it? Second down and 6. Here's Emmitt Smith coming left. It'll be third down as Emmitt Smith gets to the 41-yard line.
See big tackle Mark Tuanay there, and Johnston's having trouble convincing him that bungee jumping is safe enough even for a guy that weighs 300 pounds. In fact, he went to showing him the commercial where they pushed the Jeep off the bridge on the bungee cord. Johnston said maybe you can sit in the Jeep.
Third and 3. Cowboys trailing by 1. And the clock becoming important now. 8 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the ball game. Aikman, short setup. Into the flat for Novacek, and a wonderful job on the open field by Steve Israel. yard inside the 25. They opted to go for a field goal.
Well, Novacek's going to come in the flat, and Harper's supposed to come down here and cause some traffic problems. That doesn't happen here as the cornerback comes off. Good double team tackle, Terrell and Steve Israel. Great play on defense for the Rams.
Mike Saxon punts it away. Not his best effort. It does get a Cowboy roll. Vernon Turner comes right. And boy, is he triple teamed and down. Clayton Holmes and Godfrey Miles and Darrell Johnston, and add in Derek Woodson. The only point I was trying to make about that decision to go for the first down is it seems like such an insignificant thing at the time, and yet you look back now, less than a yard on fourth down. Jimmy Johnson said, no, we're not going to try for the first down. We'll settle for a very short field goal.
Kind of uncharacteristic for a coach with Johnson's reputation to take the conservative call.
Look what the Rams have done on offense. Even more important, no turnovers. Here's Henry Ellard at the 25. No turnovers and an astounding conversion rate on third downs of 8 out of 13.
Well, it's been a short passing game for the Rams that has really worked for them, Vern. It's a short drop by Everett, as we saw in that play, and only one completion over 45 yards. That was the key play to Anderson at the end of the first half. But it's been a good job of game planning by Ernie Zampese and excellent execution by the offensive line protecting Everett.
Second down and 2. That's close for the first down at the 30-yard line. Robert Jones, the middle linebacker, the rookie, makes the tackle.
You can just see the Rams concentrating and getting their communication set up on the sidelines, feeling very confident right now. Talking to Henley last night, and he said that, this is a different situation now. We're not building for the future as a lot of people might think. We want to win now, and that's the type of attitude that Chuck Knox gives the ball club, and that's why he's been so successful in turning around 3 different programs.
Under 6 minutes to go. First and 10, Los Angeles. Gary, pursued by Everett, tries to get down to keep the clock running. Did he, or was he forced out of bounds?
No, he got out. He went out of bounds. His feet slipped and went all the way to the white marker.
You can see Cleveland Gary trying to get down inbounds and keep that clock unraveling, but it stops at 5:42.
This is what you're talking about, Vern, as he gets outside of the numbers. He's only got 12 yards to go to the sidelines, and he goes into his hook slide here, and he can't get down before his feet are out of bounds. An excellent call by the officials.
Second and 13. Everett, first down at the 41. Catch is made by Pat Carter, the tight end.
And another characteristic passing play for a Zampese-coached offense is the tight end on the down-and-out route. Kellen Winslow caught 1,000 of them when he played with me as a Charger. And Zampese loves that pass because it's just a shorter pass to your tight end. And one, if the quarterback has time, can get to him very easily.
Head down right now is Ernie Zampese. 4:40 remaining in the ballgame.
Head down, lighting another cigarette.
Goes through a few of those. Gary. And he's out to the 43-yard line.
As we approach the 4-minute mark now, you got to start thinking about the Cowboys on offense and what they need. Well, they only need 3 points. That's a plus in their favor, but they only have 2 timeouts to work with, and they'll probably have to spend those 2 on defense.
Second down and 8 right now. And Tim Lester comes into the backfield. Cleveland Gary will rest for a play. Aikman wants one more chance. Clock is under 4 minutes. 24-23, second down. David Lang, and he makes the catch. A flag is down that may give the Rams a first down. Lang was tackled at the 50, but there's going to be a face mask call.
It was a great catch by Lang, and it's definitely a face mask. Now, the question is it a 15-yard violation, or is it just 5 yards?
Big one.
Face mask, 15 yards, first down.
Ken Norton Jr. guilty.
This is a fantastic one-handed catch by Lang, and that's an inadvertent penalty against Norton, but he's got to let it go. He held on to the face mask an instant too long, and that's why the extra 10 was added to the penalty.
At the 35, first down. Gary knocked down by Tony Casillas at the 35. 3:31 remaining in the ball game. Steve Young just hit Brent Jones with 46 seconds to go, and the 49ers lead the Saints by 1.
I was talking to Coach Zampese about these two ball clubs and how they compared to the Cowboys. He said, well, the Cowboys are a better team than both San Francisco and New Orleans because they have a better defense than San Francisco and they have a better offense than New Orleans. And their special teams are better than both of them.
Second and 10. 2:57 remaining in the game. Short setup. The pass to Henry Ellard. A flag is down. Offside, Dallas. Johnson is pleading for illegal procedure, obviously not going to get the call.
He's going to be real careful that you demonstrate too much on the sidelines and you might get a flag, even if you are the head coach. He obviously saw something that he felt would have been called in his favor.
Here's Red Cashin.
Offside. The defense on the defensive end. 5 yards, still second down.
Well, until now, the biggest play in this game was a defensive holding call made on Ken Norton Jr. on what was a punt that gave the Rams new life. Here's the offside call.
Just a little flinch there at the very end of the play by Jimmy Jones got the call.
Cleveland Gary. And don't you know the Cowboys, aware of his problems in fumbling last week, are going for the football.
Now the Cowboys, now they've got to start thinking about calling a timeout before this 2-minute warning so they can get in effect 3 timeouts instead of just the 2 they have left. But they got to start thinking about how are we going to stop this team, the Rams, on 3rd down, something we came into the game doing better than anybody in the history of the game had done.
15 seconds on the shot clock, so the Cowboys apparently will not stop the clock before the Rams call the play. It's 3rd and 2. Everett, incomplete. Thomas Everett defending. Jim Price, the intended receiver. 1:59 remaining. The Rams lead by 1, and Tony Zendejas is coming on the field. Cowboys came in with the best record in the National Football League, and they may be squandering an opportunity to move well out in front of Washington and Philadelphia. Both those teams lost today. Now Zendejas is going to try and increase the Ram lead on 4th and 2, a 44-yard attempt. Blair Bush will center, Mike Pagel will hold it. Got it! Tony Zendejas is 2 for 2 in the 4th quarter. The Rams lead by 4. The Cowboys will get the ball back when we return. Texas Stadium in Irving, we welcome those of you who are watching that thrilling San Francisco-New Orleans game where the 49ers won it by 1 on the Brent Jones catch. We have a 27-23 game. The Rams, having fallen behind 23-21 on a Kelvin Martin punt return for a touchdown, have gotten back-to-back field goals from Tony Zendejas, the most recent of which was from 44 yards out. The Cowboys will get it back, and they have 2 timeouts left. Here's Kelvin Martin at the 10. And good downfield kickoff coverage provided by Scott Stephen and Leon White.
Well, with that field goal by Zendejas puts the lead up to 4 points. So that means Aikman has to go the entire distance for a touchdown. He'll be working with just 2 timeouts, but watch for Michael Irvin. He's been the big playmaker for the Cowboys all year long. And you know he's going to be the focus of the Rams' attention.
Again today, 6 catches for 134 yards for Michael Irvin. No shotgun for Troy Aikman. Goes deep right side, and the catch is made up at the 38-yard line by Michael Irvin, his 7th grab of the day.
Boy, and he came so close to going out of bounds to stopping the clock, but he didn't get it done. Nice job of Light jumping on top of him before he could.
Aikman into the flat, Novacek. That does stop the clock at the 44-yard line for Jay Novacek. He gained 6.
Now, before the game, we talked about the weapons this offense has. You've got a tight end that's leading the NFC in receptions in Novacek. You've got a guy at wide receiver in Irvin who's averaging 20 yards a catch. But you cannot forget about Emmitt Smith in this situation as well. Very dangerous out of the backfield. In fact, the first time he played against the Rams, he caught passes totaling over 100 yards receiving.
2nd down and 4 from the 45. 4-man rush. They're stunning. Aikman stands strong. Kelvin Martin first down at the Ram 49-yard line. The Cowboys will opt to use one of their timeouts now. So they will have 1 remaining. 1:14 left in regulation. The Los Angeles Rams have come into Texas Stadium and they are trying to stop a Cowboy winning streak at home at 11. 1:14 remaining. This game presented by authority of the National Football League. And this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast express written consent of CBS, the Rams, the Cowboys, and the NFL prohibited. Aikman, incomplete. Alvin Harper, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, with half a field to go, Aikman wants all of it in this very first play after the timeout. It's that post pattern, and again, it's just about 2 inches too far. Harper can't make the grab, but who can blame him with number 41, Todd Light, all over his back.
Earlier today, the Redskins lost, Philadelphia lost. The Cowboys could have gone up by 3, or could if they win. Fumble picked up by Mark Stepnoski, and he advances the ball to the 47-yard line. Kevin Green caused the fumble.
The important thing now is that the clock continues to run, and Stepnoski's advance, the ball has to go back to where Aikman fumbled it.
Final 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
Only the man who fumbles has to pick it up. 3rd down. Aikman across the middle. Caught at the 33. seconds elapsed.
Yeah. You like his style going for a regular play, but that just took too much time. The important thing is this 20 seconds here, and as you said, Vern, about 14 seconds went off the play clock. He could have saved perhaps half of that.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. And the Cowboys do have the one timeout left. They trail 27-23. Rush 4. Aikman harassed as he lets it go. It comes to the near side for Novacek. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Now that pocket was collapsing around him. Good job by Robert Young that time. Looked like he was right in the face of Aikman as he steps up into the pocket. Young is 76, working against Newton. And he's right on top of Aikman and causes the incompletion.
Down and 10 from the 33. 27-23 Rams lead. Irvin at the 14. Time called. 8 seconds. Now 7. Now 6. And Irvin immediately signaled for time with 8 seconds to go.
You know, they might ask that more time be put back on the clock, because he, as soon as he hits the ground, secures the pass, he's calling timeout. What a fantastic catch by Michael Irvin. And heads up to get the clock stopped. And we'll have to see if the officials give the Cowboys 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 seconds.
Saw Jimmy Johnson ask for 8 seconds, and that's when I noticed that he signaled or asked for the timeout. He requested it at the 8-second mark. But they apparently are not going to put the 2 seconds back on.
Yeah, it's great when a player lives up to his nickname. And Michael Irvin likes to call himself, and other people are starting to call him the playmaker as well. When you need a big play, you've got to come up with it, and that's what Irvin did.
Is this it, or can they run 2 in 6 seconds?
I tell you what, this has got to be it. Awful tough to get 2 quality pass plays in just 6 seconds.
Into the end zone, tipped, incomplete, 1 second left. Those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're a second away. You're watching the NFL on CBS and the game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Dan Fouts. Our score 27-23. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast and the Mountain Time Zone. The Dallas Cowboys 8-1. They have 1 play left. Rams win. And among other things, the Dallas Cowboys leave the field with a timeout in their pocket.
And they're the 3rd NFC East team to lose today. Following Washington and Philadelphia, they had a chance to go up 3 on those 2 teams.